What's up, you guys? Welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about contraband. What is contraband? Why would you need contraband? How would you get contraband? All of the juicy details that is involved in breaking the rules in jails and prisons, your girl happens to know. With that being said, like in that same breath, I'm not telling you to go to prison. I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm not telling you to break rules. This is just my personal experience, so take it as you will. A lot of you have seen in my live streams, my old Selly from like the county jail from way back has commented and she's like, girl, you got me in so much trouble. I know, I'm sorry, kind of, not really. But when you go to jail, you are stripped of everything. Everything, you don't have anything. So let's just start with what you get when you go to the county jail. For example, you're gonna get a couple of uniforms. You're gonna get this tiny itty bitty little bar of soap. That might work if you're a dude, but if you're a female, you can't wash your body with this tiny little bar of soap. You can't wash your hair with a little bar of soap. Not okay. It's basically useless, okay, for anything that it's intended for. Then you get like this tiny little baby toothbrush. Then you get a tube of glue. Technically it's toothpaste, but it's disgusting. Like I would never put that in my mouth. I mean, I've had to before, but if there was any way I could get real toothpaste, I was gonna get it. So all of these things are sold on commissary, and that's kind of the thing. They wanna make money, so they sell you all the things you desperately need, like shampoo and conditioner. So when you're an inmate like I was, I had no friends, I had no family, I had no money, I had no one looking out for me or sending me a damn thing. I couldn't even get a letter, like for real. No one would even write me except for my mom. And the only way that my mom could help me is by putting a little bit of money on the phone so that we could talk. She couldn't afford anything else. And to be fair, like I wasn't going to ask her for anything because I got myself in that situation. So, you know, you can take the girl out of the hustle, but you can't take the hustle out of the girl. So contraband is a big thing. If you have something that no one else can get, that's a high commodity. They will pay anything you say. So one of the things, and I've mentioned this before, one of the things that everyone wants in jail is a real pen. I've mentioned swiping pens, but that was like my #1 thing if I couldn't get out of the pod. So cops walk in, they have pens in their little front little cop pocket, and I would take it out of their pocket, I would sell that. I would sell one real pen for like a whole spread, like 5 soups, bags of chips, sausage, whatever I needed, you know, to make a little spread, pickles. So it was important that I got some food, right? So same thing for like haircuts or all my prison hustles, and I've made a video in the past about prison hustles, but I'm just talking about like contraband, like straight up contraband, stuff you're not supposed to have. Whatever I needed, that's what I would sell things for. So, story time. I would steal anything in jail that was not nailed down. So you can't just like walk out of the pod. So like in a jail, there'll be like a door and then like this tiny little hallway, that door has to close and then the cop has to pop the other door. So the cops have like this tiny little station usually, right? Like in Sebastian County Jail. In Delaware County Jail, no, but like in Arkansas, they had like this little station area. I would walk by there, bam, grab a highlighter, bam, grab a pen, gum, sticks of gum. I would take anything, put it in my boobs, put it in my bra, and that would be my thing. The nurse station, oh my gosh, you guys. The nurse station has so much stuff that I needed. I could make straws, which you don't have a straw. You want a straw, right? I could steal the thermometer things and make a straw. I would just steal anything. I once stole an entire styling brush, like those round styling brushes. Tell me what I need that for. I don't. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So one time I was taking out to go to medical because I was pregnant. They had to take me to a free world doctor, which was horrifying and embarrassing, and I'll make an entire video on that later. But the cops had like this emergency in another pod and they left me up front. Worst mistake you could possibly make. All of the cops go rushing out to go do something. There was a fight or something going on. They just left me there one time and I thought, oh my God, it's like Christmas. So I'm standing like right here. There's a little guard desk right here where they have like their computers, they book you in, they take your picture, whatever, but there's shelves underneath that. And I saw this whole thing of tobacco, like chewing tobacco. And I just thought like there's the office intake people, but they're not even, like no one's watching me. Someone could have seen me on the camera, but like that's just the chance I'm willing to take. So of course your girl was like as fast as I could. And then I'm looking like, what else do they have? What else do they have? I see pens and stuff, paper, but I don't want to steal that because like this chew can get me so much. And you think like, what girl wants to chew? You guys, when you don't have something, you want something. When you don't have cigarettes or nicotine or whatever, these girls didn't care. No one's gonna care if it's like whatever. Of course it would have been better to get cigarettes, which I'll get into. Would have been better for cigarettes, but I'm gonna take what I can get, right? So I went out for my appointment and the nurse comes in and like, I had boobs because I was pregnant, but I don't have big boobs. So like this whole thing of like skull is in my bra and I'm just like trying to like, you know, like, yeah, do my ultrasound, like look at the baby, but I'm like trying so hard to like hide this like giant thing of skull in my boobs. So now I have to come back in the jail and they would make you go through the whole intake thing or like pat you down or whatever. Well, I had to get away from that situation. I couldn't let them pat me down or do anything because I have this giant thing of skull. So I start to walk in like the jail and they start to undo my cuffs and I just start like doubled over in pain and I'm like, oh, my stomach, my stomach, my stomach. And just as I'm doing that, like, oh, my stomach did not hurt, but I'm like kind of like acting crazy and throwing a fit. They're like, okay, let's just walk you to the nurse's station. So like they go to walk me to the nurse's station and another fight broke out. So 2 fights in one day. I'm like, this is a sign that I'm meant to steal this stuff. How stupid is that? I'm like, no, I just want to lay down. You can just take me back to my cell. And of course I'm like, please take me back to my cell. And they're like, all right, Kent, just walk down, we'll pop the door. And they just took off. So now I'm like standing outside of the pod and like, remember there's 2 doors I have to be buzzed into, but that felt like the longest wait. I probably had to wait like 1 minute, but it felt like forever because I'm like, oh, I have this whole thing of skull. So I get back to my cell, I show my cellmate, I'm like, we're about to be, we're about to be reigning in commissary, you know, like make a list because that's what the price is. And I would sell like the tiniest little things of dip to everyone. Now, fast forward probably a couple of weeks, I was in the hallway. So my homies were at this little, in this pod, they were in this pod right by the medical unit, the nurse's station. So I'm in line and my homie is like, come here. Now this cop that's watching us hates me. She hates me. And I think that actually she watches my videos, so hello, what's up? So she hates me and she is like, Kent, don't even think about it. Now she knows that this inmate in particular is not going to get stopped by that cop because the cops were kind of afraid of him. I'm not making this up. This is 100% real. You will meet him when he gets out in like 18 months. He's crazy, but he's my homie. So it's like, just come here. Now I'm looking at the male officer that's watching that pod and he's just like, she's not gonna do it. She's not gonna do it. But he's like smiling, you know what I mean? And that's all it took to get me the confidence, like to smile and like go over to the thing. So I take a deep breath, I run over to FF pod, I run over the door, he hands me something out of like underneath the door. He slides me something underneath the door. I have no idea what it is. I grab it, I run a little bit, and I try to like get back in line. I hand it to my friend, she hands it to someone else, that person hands it to someone else. Like it's a whole thing, and she's like, "Can't get on the ground." Now I hold my hand like this, so she still thinks that I have that in my hand. She's like, "Get on the ground, get on the ground." And I'm like yelling, I'm like, "Don't touch me, I'm pregnant." And she's like, open your hand. And I open it and I said, "I'm just messing with you. I don't have anything." And she's like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "I just thought it was funny, I'm bored." And she's like, "I can't believe you would do that." And she's like she dead ass believes me, you guys. She believes I don't have that. Like it was so fast. Like I handed it to someone, they handed it to someone, they handed it to someone. So we get back in the pod and I go up to the last person that I thought had it and I'm like, "Give it to me." She's like, "No, I gave it to this person." Now I'm panicked. I don't know if it's a kite. I don't know what it is. I'm panicked a little bit. So I'm like, "Who has it? Who has it?" I'm like freaking out. Like, "You have my stuff, give it." So another person's like, "I didn't even open it, New York, chill." And I'm like, "Great." And I snatch it out of her hand and I put it in my bra. And I walk back to my cell and I open it, you guys. It was 5 cigarettes and a little thing of weed. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, like I can't even believe I just got away with that. I can't even believe I have this right now. Now I don't smoke. I'm pregnant, I'm not gonna smoke the weed. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I thought, this is a gold mine. Like to me, that was the most valuable thing I could ever possess in jail. So that little pinner of weed that my homie just gave me, I could sell that for $20 of commissary. That's gonna feed me for a little bit. That's gonna give me everything I need, you know? So I was hustling doing eyebrows, I was hustling cutting hair, and I'm hustling getting contraband. Anything you could think of, I would try to get. So now I'm like, man, I could sell 1 cigarette for like $5 because no one has it, right? So there was only 1 person in that pod that had a lighter. So I did this too, but this girl would sell lighter clicks. Like, yeah, you can use my lighter for a soup. Like lighter clicks, really? But that's what happens. Like if you don't have something and other people want that, you can sell it for whatever. So a lighter click would cost a soup. So I sold all of that stuff so fast. It was gone in like 3 minutes, you guys. As soon as I'm like, I got this, I got this, I got this, man. Now we're trying to make like, what is that called? Like spoof, so you don't smell the smoke. We're having to do that. People would blow baby powder in their cell to get the smoke smell out. It was crazy. It was crazy, but I made so much money just having things that you don't have. And like I said, jail strips everything from you. So if you could get anything, even a pen, I could sell a pen for so much stuff, you guys. Like an entire spread I would sell a pen for. So my time in county jails were crazy. I kind of calmed down a little bit when I went to prison because they mess with your time there, and I was like not trying to get my time taken away. As most of you know, I have been in prison fights, I've been pepper sprayed in prison, but my time was really hard. And I know I've not done 10 years, 20 years, I haven't done crazy long sentences, but when you're broke, when you're dead broke, when you're pregnant, when you're pepper sprayed, when you're thrown in isolation, that makes your time really hard. When you don't get a letter, when you don't have phone calls, when you don't have visits, like that time was just so difficult for me. So don't break the law, don't go to prison. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up. Let's try to get this video to 200 likes, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.